This year we opened registration on Eid Day, and that was about 2 weeks ago. We're already at about 12, 13 teams, which is absolutely insane for us, like the response we've been getting from that.
All right, who was the worst team that participated last year?
When they find out we're doing this, they support in any way they can.
Assalamu alaikum. We're back today with another podcast for AZH Podcast. We're today joined by some of the founders for DMV Shia Sports League Official with Faaris Rizvi Fazal, and later we'll be joined with Hashim as well. So let's jump right into it. Why don't you guys tell me about the concept? Like, what's the concept behind and the idea behind the DMV Shia Sports League?
So it started off as a basketball tournament. About 3 years ago, alhamdulillah, Idara started, they made a basketball court. So, there's a lot of hoopers, as you could say, in this community. And I just thought it would be a good idea. Like, let's have a tournament, a basketball tournament, as a way for everyone to come together. And I mentioned it on a WhatsApp group chat, saying like anyone would be down to help out. And that's when Faaris came in, and then Hashim, and then a bunch of other brothers came saying that they would love to help. And then this is now our third tournament, and it's been pretty successful and growing over the years.
Yeah, mashallah. Do you guys have any set goals that you guys wanted to achieve with this initiative?
Just Shia unity, most likely in the DMV, because we go to Idara mostly for the entire year, but we don't know brothers in like Imam Ali Center, Al-Asr, like all around the DMV that are Shia, so we just did it for the unity, basically.
But this is broader than just the DMV community, right?
Yeah,
you guys
this
have
year,
coming in from New York for the past couple of years, and you have guys coming in from Atlanta too. So what's that experience been like? What's the response been like from you guys, mashallah, you guys are well connected with communities all over the East Coast, also extending out to California and Texas as well. So what's the response been like from the different communities?
Everyone's excited, mostly because it's like our own Shia brothers playing basketball amongst each other, because we do matam each other, do namaz next to each other, everything. But now it's like outside of that in like the sports kind of world. Yeah. So everyone's excited. Like, it's always competition. Like Atlanta's coming. They have a lot of good basketball players. Inshallah, California, they're from the Bay Area. They'll come. New York, bring a lot of teams.
New Jersey too, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you guys have there's been more competitions that have been started in other places as well, right? Like, have you guys helped out with kind of logistics and all that sort of stuff with competitions in Atlanta or Texas or anything like that?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned like different communities, because the first year of the tournament we had some brothers from New York come, and then the second year it was when Virginia came, Imam Ali Center, and they actually won the tournament last year. So it was kind of unique to see like brothers from outside the community coming into ours. And obviously like trash talking happens, like banter happens, but like everything stays in the court. And now they signed up this year too, so like they brought a lot of competition, a lot of brothers there know how to play basketball. So we're just looking forward to it, and we've been getting a lot of support from like you mentioned ATL New York, because we decided we wanted to do things a lot more differently in terms of like getting noticed more, so on and so forth. So that's when we opened up an Instagram account. That's when we started following a lot of people that we know from outside of like Maryland, and then through that we made the announcement, and then they were very like encouraging, and they signed up too. So it's gonna be fun.
That's great. What's the response been like as far as from that unity aspect that you touched, Faaris? Like, this is your third year doing it now. You probably met new people the first year, and then again the second year. How have relationships developed and like blossomed because of this initiative?
It's actually funny you mentioned that. Kind of Ali Center came to Idara on Ashura Day, and the Ashura, like the Afghani Irani crew came like right Shab Ashura night. And before the tournament, we didn't know who they were, and they came for that due to their Pursa there, and they recognized me and Fazal right off the bat. So it's like that's cool too. Go to New Jersey, we play football against them, and then you go to MFI, you go to Astana for their Shabidaris. They're like, oh, we know you guys. Like, they'll come down and just talk about sports outside of Azadari and all that, like religious stuff. So yeah, it's like making more friendships, like you're saying. It's kind of cool.
And you guys stay in touch throughout the year, and has there like this networking aspect of it I really enjoy, because I think we're part of a small community overall anyway, right? We're a minority, like really small minority in the U.S. So having our network being spread throughout the U.S. and all the way out to like states like California, that's amazing. You guys had a guy fly in from Chicago last year, right? Which is
Chicago, or think it was St. Louis or
St. Louis or
Chicago.
Chicago. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. What's what's the response from like the kids at Adara? Like, how many teams do you guys get from within Adara?
We've actually been growing over the years, as I've mentioned in the beginning. How many teams do we have the first tournament?
First tournament 2 years ago, we had 8 teams. Last year, we grew to 12. And this year, we opened registration on Eid Day. And that was about 2 weeks ago. We're already at about 12, 13 teams, which is absolutely insane for us. Like the response we've been getting from that. 16 teams, inshallah, they're just still registering. They're letting us know in advance that they're going to register, just trying to get the team together. But going to 16 teams, that's really cool for us to see, like the growth and everything.
Maybe this could be a 2-day tournament next year.
Yeah, we actually want to start alhamdulillah, like Idara is great, but we actually want to start expanding more to indoor facilities. This is only a summer thing. So now we want to see, like, let's keep it going. Like, let's make it as consistent as possible because, once we have the tournament, then everyone kind of just like, no one really plays basketball. Then Muharram comes and then it gets cold and stuff. So we've been talking amongst ourselves, like, we really want to do something during the winter because, one, that's when everyone's available. Everyone's looking to play basketball. Everyone wants to play indoors. We've heard a lot of people outside saying, oh, you guys should do 5v5, like full court basketball. You guys should do indoor. And like, we've been taking those advice like seriously. And I think even we just like love playing basketball. So I think inshallah, like in the future, in like the winter, we want to do something where we could have it indoors. So then more people could come too.
Yeah, there's a guy named, I don't know if you guys might know him, Imran Jaffrey from NJAA in New Jersey. He used to organize a basketball tournament for NJAA. NJAA had a basketball tournament for a few years. It was a great tournament where they would have like multiple courts kind of going at the same time, and they had multiple different people from all over. It wasn't just like a Shia event. Various different people were attending the tournament. I could be wrong about that. I don't remember exactly. This was a while back. I think the tournament last happened before COVID. So they had multiple courts going at the same time, and they would like kind of bracket system kind of go into a final, which was really cool. So I would love to like see this initiative being developed into a bigger and more, like a longer event type of situation, and having it multiple times a year would be cool too. Another question I had for you guys was, how has the response been from the adults within the community?
Adults have been amazing with this. To be honest, my dad, him and his friend group, they've been playing basketball since they grow up. And they started this tournament about 5 years ago. They did it at Blake High School in Montgomery County. Yeah. And we had a lot of teams with that because everyone knows like those old heads is doing their thing. Yeah. So everyone came out for their respect. And then like, they're getting old. They want to pass down the torch. So Fazal wanted to do this himself. So I was like, all right, let me carry my dad's legacy. Let me go with Fazal. Hashim came with me. We have a boss too. He's part of the younger crowd. So all these guys like you like Zohair Bhai, Ali Mama, we have an AZH, all these guys donating to our funds to get us more stuff, to get it bigger. So adults they've been loving our thing. They've been helping us out. They've been supporting us. So that support it helps us a lot, trying to go forward, trying to make it bigger, multiple sports, multiple days, multiple events.
And I know like there's an age gap, and there's like, I feel it sometimes too, like there's a disconnect as far as like, there's only certain things I can relate to you guys on, right? And there's only certain things that you guys can relate to me on. Has this tournament kind of help develop that connection with the older guys in the community as well?
Absolutely, honestly, because like I said, we're growing our connection through sports, right? And that's something everyone has in common here. When they play sports, it just brings everyone together. And honestly, to piggyback on the support from the older people, they've been probably like our biggest supporters through this whole thing, right? Because they love seeing like the younger crowd, because now like they did their time like with getting involved. They really want to see people like us like start this up, so like when they find out we're doing this, they support in any way they can, and they're telling us like every year like keep doing what you're doing. Very encouraging. So yeah, and I just think overall the connection is getting stronger, alhamdulillah, because through sports. And they played sports. They always talk about their heyday. In fact, the older guys play in the tournament too with us. So it's kind of like, it's funny to see like Faaris' dad and like my uncles and stuff, like they made a team. They're like, oh, we're going to win this. They're talking their smack and stuff. And it's just all like fun and love at the end of the day. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Outside of this, like what other events or initiatives can our community at large have to engage or like harbor that connection further, right? Like, well, I want you guys' unfiltered thoughts on that because I think for me, I was hanging out with a friend of mine who's Sunni last night, and he lives in Lorton, VA, and he leads like a youth group, and they have like a talk with a bunch of the younger guys. They do like a talk for 16 to 26-year-old guys at their mosque, and they'll talk about anything under the sun, right? Like I was asking him, I was picking his brain, like what can we do to kind of engage, and it doesn't have to be just religious stuff. Like I like it. Your religion is with you, right? Like that's at least what my belief is. But I want you to be a part of our community, right? Like I want the youth. Like I know back in when I was your guys' age, my connection was with just like majlis. I would come, attend majlis, and I would go home. But I always craved something more than that. So I want to know, like, I'm sure you guys go through the same thing. You guys are a little bit older now, like in your early 20s. So like from the guys that are in their teenage years to the guys that are your age, how can that connection be enhanced?
I think we're in the right direction, right? Because basketball not necessarily means that some brothers come to Idara every Muharram. So like the times we see them is in basketball, and I feel like through that they feel more comfortable to show up to Idara, like especially the new brothers that show up, and then when we see them in like regular majlises during Muharram or any other programs. When we see them, we say, hey, how are you doing? Like making them feel welcome. Because I think that's like the biggest thing, especially in this community, is to make like the outsiders who come feel welcomed, right? Because I could see it being a bit intimidating, right? When new brothers come and like they don't know anyone, and mashallah, so there's a lot of families and stuff too. So like it's important for us to like reach out to them, do outreaching, and just like really picking like how you're picking your friends' brain, like us picking their brains too, seeing like what can we do to make it better. And I think like with outside people and having more people involved, I think like we're in the right direction. So
yeah, like last year we had Ali Center show up, and they're very intimidated at first. They showed up late, and they told Hashim told them, we're like, if you guys are late, you're gonna have to forfeit the first game, but you can play the rest of the games. Yeah. And no one knew who they were. We're trying to get in contact with them. They were like, off the bat, they told Hashim, all right, we're going to probably forfeit this game and lose it, but we're not losing a game from here. So they were very comfortable, and they didn't lose a game. I'm going to be honest. They won the championship.
They beat us in the finals.
They beat us in the final. They're coming back to defend their crown. We're coming back. But yeah, after that, we talked to them every day. I talked to them, one of their players, I forgot his name, but I talked to him almost every day. I reached out to him. Fazal reached out to one of their captains from last year. Yeah. So that friendship, they feel like they're part of the community. Like when they came to Idara, like I said earlier, we're regulars at Idara. They have their own center, but they came to Idara as an outside. But when they see us, and they see us from that basketball tournament, then they started feeling comfortable, like it's their community too. That sense of community is
seeing a familiar face wherever you go, right? Like it helps a lot, right? Like when I moved down here from New Jersey to Virginia, coming to Idara and seeing like Farzad or Ali or like Minaj Bhai, all these guys that I knew just from Azadari or whatever, right? Like it was at least like comforting that, okay, I'm not a complete outsider, right? So like having initiatives like this, having people involved from not just Idara, but like, Imam Ali Center, as you mentioned, and guys coming down from New York and Atlanta, wherever else, like when you guys go there for Shabadai, when you guys go there for different events throughout, like it's going to help, right? Like it develops that network. Other than that, within like, as far as your career wise, like you guys are getting out of college, going towards careers now. And there's also kids that you guys are close with that are going into college now and thinking about a career path and kind of applying their exercise. How do you think, because I have this time with you guys and I want to use this opportunity because we're always want to kind of like make sure we're going down the right path here. How can like the community help you guys further in like, the career path that you want to have or help you guys make better choices regarding like what major do I want to go to, what college do I want to go to, like how does the community serve?
Most definitely. We have a lot of doctors, as you know, like in the Brown community. But like me, I'm like almost an outlier because whenever I tell people, sports management, they're like, oh, all right, guy that's Brown that's going to sports management. So I think like the new generation that's coming in, they're doing more stuff that they're interested in. So when they see other people in the community doing something outside of like law or doctor that's still paying good money that they want out of college, they can still pursue it. Like I played sports all my life, all this. That's why I pursued sport management. I always been the outlier of everything. So now I see like a lot of people from the community. They're asking me. They're doing marketing like I'm doing, or they're asking me how I got into sports management. And there's also a guy from Jersey, Farhan Zaidi. He's a big guy in the Shia community. That's from MFI. That's actually leading his own. He's leading his own organization, getting Shia guys back into sports, trying to get into that leadership role. So I think that community is like a big thing. You see other people doing stuff, so it could help you pick whatever you're most comfortable doing.
And I also think it's important for us, since we're fairly new to this, is to take advantage of the resources that we have. Because outside of Majlis and like what we're doing, there's a lot of like younger groups. I mean, not younger groups, but I mean like professionals that are making these like cybersecurity group chats and like all this other stuff. So I feel like for us, like we should go up to them and outreach to them and let them know what, like, we support you, and let us know what we could do so that we could also expand like outside of basketball. Because right now it's just basketball, and we want to eventually do like other sports, inshallah, right? But in terms of because not everyone plays sports, right? That's like the fact, right? But like we could reach out to different business people or whatever and just ask them like, what can we do to help? Because I think that's the first step in order to really like expand, like make it more than just basketball.
Yeah. Do you guys feel comfortable going up to like, obviously you have your guys that you're gonna, I feel like I have a connection with you guys as well. Like I feel like I could talk to you guys about anything. But do other people, feel comfortable coming to, guys like, in the community that are older, experienced, and asking them questions? Like, is there a gap there that needs to be worked on though?
Like generally speaking?
Generally speaking, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's always going to be there, because it's still like reaching that next step, I guess, because there's still that social anxiety. Because I know I had it, especially like when I was in college, like going up to people and asking them. But yeah, I definitely think it's still there. But I think as our job as like DMV Shia sports official, like we could create like a comfort zone for those people, because like also, yeah, we play basketball, but it could also be a networking thing, right? We have dentists that play with us, we have IT professionals, we have sports management majors, like, and you have so many different career options too. And even through that could also be a great networking opportunity, for someone, because there's a lot of younger guys, like we mentioned Abbas, who's helping us out. He's still in high school, right? So like he has like older brothers like us in the community that could like help him, when he's like in college and stuff. So yeah, I think like starting off there and just like making it comfortable for people who aren't comfortable, so they can eventually, inshallah, feel comfortable talking to us about that stuff. I think it could go a long way.
Yeah, you can crack that like uncomfortability with playing basketball again. Like we have our older brothers that are very well off and they have a very successful career. It's like playing basketball against them, you start seeing them in like a sports way, but then outside you're like, you could be more comfortable to go ahead and ask them a question about their profession, see if you're like interested in what they want to do. And I can be like, I can go up to you, it's like, I want to do a media, like just talk to you because I've been playing sports with you for so long. So it's actually helping.
No, that's an excellent point, right? Like the initiatives like this are what, because what I would hope that every kid are like my hope for every kid in our community is that they have at least one or two guys that are, it doesn't need to be in their family. It might be in their family, but outside of their immediate family, they have somebody to talk to, somebody to pick their brain about, somebody to like just connect to them on the day to day of like, it's something they might be dealing with. If we can achieve that, I think a lot of the issues that you go through as just a fact of growing up through life would be resolved by that, and we would just have better outcomes from our youth in the community. But initiatives like this of playing basketball together, doing activities together, it makes people comfortable. Even like at this age, like I'll go to your dad, Adil, for advice from time to time about various different things, and it's I have other people in Jersey that I go to advice about, right? Like it's all with you need to have that access to people, and this is how you kind of get there. We're gonna switch out real quick. Who wants to give up their seat for Hashim? All right, so Hashim looks after the logistics and the outreach for the DMV Shia Sports League, right? So define that role for me a little bit more.
Well, basically, I'm just trying to crunch down numbers, whether, regarding what we have, what we get in donations, what we get in sponsorships. Like as we're part of a Idara community. We're not just our own entity. Alhamdulillah, we have a lot of people supporting us, a lot of people backing us, not only individuals from the community, but individuals, within Anjuman Zulfiqar Haidari that are, openly supporting us. We have, other entities that, we're working with that are supporting us. So, again, like I said, I'm just crunching numbers to see what we have, to see what we can, provide for everyone in the tournament, everyone playing, everyone that's just going to be there. Because not only, again, is it just for playing basketball, it's a community event. We're trying to draw everyone to Idara. We're trying to bring everyone there. And, not just show that we aren't only for Ibadat and Azadari. We also have fun community events that everyone can partake in.
So what's the outreach been like as far as like, you're reaching out to people on social media?
Right. So we've made our own social media page, DMV Shia Sports Official on Instagram. So we've been, just either DMing people through that account and or personally reaching out to people that we know, again, that we've met, through Azadari, through this unity. We've gone to these Shabadaris and, New Jersey, New York, wherever, right? And we've made these connections with people. We've been reaching out to them. Like Atlanta will be coming, inshallah. New York will be coming. And, we've gone to these Shabadaris, stood in, halkas and stuff with these people. But we want to show that not only are we together in this aspect, but we are also together as a community, as a Shia community. So again, just reaching out to them through social media.
Your role for logistics, are you when I think of logistics, are you also deciding like who plays who, like the brackets and everything?
So that will be randomized. If I'm not mistaken, that'll be randomized. So once we get all the teams registered, the last date for registration is May 15th, if I'm right.
So register.
Yeah, please register. June 1st is the tournament. If that
$50 fee for registration, which is probably like one of the cheapest ones for any basketball tournament out there.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think it's just getting those 16 teams, and then inshallah we're gonna randomize who we're kind of put it in divisions and whatnot. I don't remember the exact format that we put it in, but we're gonna put them together, and then who plays who is going to be randomized.
All right, who was the worst team that participated last year?
We're going to say Mamba Sports Team.
Yeah, Mamba Sports Team.
Mamba Sports Team.
That's this year. Last year.
Adil Rizvi.
I'll tell you who the best team was. It definitely wasn't a team from here. So, I mean.
Okay. Well, the best team is the one that won.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So, and they were, I mean, luckily, actually, I'm glad to say this. Luckily, they weren't even part of our community, and they said themselves, "You guys showed us so much love and stuff after winning," and they really came out and they told me, "Okay, if we forfeit that game, we're not losing another one." And they meant.
So, do they have a target on their back this year?
Yeah, they have a target on their back. For me, we come Bravo 6 coming after you.
I actually made that name. They're defending champs. I mean, what can we say?
Is there an MVP?
This year, yeah. So the last 2 years, as we've been growing, we've been just doing basketball tournaments. Yeah. As it's been growing, we've been getting more donations and more money into our funds and everything. So now we got a big trophy, customized, gonna be revealed on tournament day. And we're working through it, but MVP is going to be an MVP this year. It's just going to be a tournament MVP. Like, you don't have to win the championship. If you're the best player, period. Then
and the award for that will, we're still determining what it will be.
Hopefully, it will be a WWE belt.
That's what the plan is. It's like a championship.
Can we also have the best trash talking award?
Yeah, but I'll probably win it every year if we do that. Cause
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, inshallah, it should be a good tournament. Should be a good turnout. Because, like I said, again, it's not just about basketball, right? It's about getting everyone together, getting everyone at the Idara, doing all of this together, not just, we stand alone in this.
Who was the MVP last year?
We didn't have an MVP.
We didn't have MVP, but
if you guys had to pick one.
Abbas, who's in our committee that helps me, Fazal, and Hashim, the new member this year. But last year, he carried his team on his back to the semifinals.
But realistically, it was one of the
Ali Center. He also carried his team to a chip.
I think his name was Keane.
Abbas fell short against us. But yeah, Hashim does a good job with numbers. That's what his job is, helping us get money and make sure that we maximize our food.
What's on the menu for this year?
So this year we're actually very excited. This year we're gonna do pizzas and stuff like that, snacks and whatnot. But we're also gonna have a barbecue. Throughout the day from like 4 or 5ish until the end of the tournament, we're gonna have a barbecue. Lead namaz inshallah and whatnot. Drinks and whatnot will be provided. But yeah, so again, it's gonna be a community event. Hopefully,
Is the barbecue just for the guys who are participating?
Absolutely not.
So I can just show up. And I just
we want people to show up that are not playing. This is a community event. You can support. There's only one team to support, and that's my team. Mm-hmm. So I want everyone there.
Are there jerseys that you can purchase for like?
Inshallah.
Yeah.
That's in the works as we speak. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks we should have that sorted out.
So registration closes on May 15th. When do you guys start announcing the teams?
We will.
So registration ends May 15th, or when we get 16 teams, because we're maxing it out at 16. Yeah. So when we get those 16 teams, then we'll sit down and just like list off the teams and every year we put them into like a randomizer. And so if we have 16 teams, inshallah, we'll do 4 groups of 4. Yeah. So everyone's guaranteed 6 games, so we make your money's worth with the $50. Nice. Yeah. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Well, I really appreciate you guys and Fazal as well for coming over and just having a chat with us. And I love this initiative. I think this achieves far more than you guys had even hoped for, from just a connection within the community and also like providing a platform for people to connect over. And yeah, it's great. I wish you guys the best of luck.
Sure. Follow DMV Shia Sports. Register your team. 4 more slots.
Perfect. Thank you so much.